Okay.
All right.
Hang on,
Yeah,
it's not
live.
quite done on YouTube yet. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and let me make you host. And you gentlemen are all set.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Let me share my screen here. All right. Welcome to the Community Preservation Committee meeting, March 24th. Called to order at 6:32 p.m. Please be advised this open meeting may be broadcast live and will be recorded by WRPS for playback at www.wrpsrockland.com/TV and at youtube.com/WRPSRockland. We have a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's
Peter,
unanimous.
aye.
All right. Once again, it's been a crazy month for me, so I'm gonna recommend we pass over agenda item 1, minutes approval.
Motion to pass it over.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good. Hey, John.
Hey,
All
John.
right. So our big item of business is number 2 here, the warrant article approvals. These have all been previously approved by the board to move forward. We're just voting to ratify the wording. Majority written by Doug Lapp and reviewed by the town attorney. This is already in the draft warrant article and have been presented to Finance Committee, and I'm presenting the last article here to Capital Planning if we all approve them tonight, next Wednesday, so we can move forward. So I'll, because Pete's on the phone, I'll go ahead and read these. So the first one is going to be the special town meeting, article number 5. It's related to the Remembrance Park at Town Hall. So will the town vote to approve and expend from the Community Preservation Fund the sum of $20,000 to supplement the appropriation made in Article 41 from the June 22, 2020 annual town meeting to rehab/construct a Remembrance Park next to Rockland Town Hall, or take any other action thereto. The emergency reason is this project is currently underway and is experiencing a budget shortfall, as the funding must be appropriated from the special town meeting to successfully complete the project. Requested by the Highway Superintendent. Approval recommended by Finance Committee, Capital Planning Committee, and Community Preservation Committee. Funding source $20,000 CPA fund balance reserve. Motion to accept. Anyone?
Motion.
Second. Third.
So it was Derek. Who's the second there?
John, I guess.
John, good. Thanks. All right, all those in favor, roll call. Derek,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Pete?
Yeah.
John,
Yes.
and myself, yes, unanimous. All right, on to the regular articles for annual town meeting. Article number 10 is our administrative funding. Will the town vote to appropriate a reserve from Community Preservation Fund annual revenues and the amounts recommended by the Community Preservation Committee for committee administrative expenses, community preservation projects, and other expenses in fiscal year 2023, with each item to be considered a separate appropriation as follows. Appropriation from fiscal year 2023 estimated revenues from administrative expenses. 5% of the total. Typically what we do, it's $32,631.48. Reserves from FY23 estimated revenues for historic resources reserves, $62,262.96. For the community housing reserve, the same. Open space reserve, the same. And then for the budget reserve, $424,209.23, or take any other action relative thereto, requested by Community Preservation Committee, Finance Committee actually recommends deferring to us on this one. Funding source will be fiscal year 2023 estimated receipts. Any questions? We hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
second,
Derek, Tom. All right, roll call. Derek,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Tom,
yes,
Pete,
Yeah.
John,
Yes.
and myself as an aye. It's unanimous. All right, Article 11. This one is, it's actually a combination. They combine the return of the COVID-19 relief funds, as well as adding $15,000 for the, to make it 100,000 for the Copley Gardens project. Money will be paid to NeighborWorks. So I'll read it for you. Will the town vote to transfer $85,000 from Article 48 from the June 22, 2020 annual town meeting, and an additional $15,000 from the Community Housing Reserve balance to fund the creation of affordable housing units at Copley Garden located at 105 Market Street, Rockland, or take any action relative thereto. Requested by Community Preservation Committee. Approval recommended by Community Preservation Committee. I'm thinking that we'll probably get an approval from Finance Committee on this as well. This does not need to go to capital because it's not town capital. Funding source 85,000, rescind and reappropriate Article 48 from June 22, 2020 annual town meeting, 15,000 from the CPA Community Housing Reserve balance. Any discussion? Motion?
motion to accept,
Wait a second.
Second.
Thank you, Pete. All right, on the list, Derek.
I'm going to abstain from voting.
Okay. Joe,
Yes.
Tom,
yes,
Pete,
Yeah.
John,
Yes.
myself as an aye. Unanimous. Derek, abstain. Okay. And then finally, because this one, when I was talking to Jen and Doug, I failed to remember that we had already approved this in December, our December meeting. That's when I was giving them the articles. This one, I remembered late. Charlie actually reminded me when I sent the first draft over to you guys. He said, "Hey, there's something missing." And I said, "Oh, well, it wasn't." He says, the rail trail project. And I went back in my notes and he said, "Yep, we did approve that." Let me get that over to him. So I ended up drafting this. The town attorney made some revisions, and it is in the draft warrant, and presented this at Finance Committee again last night. And we'll present this one to capital planning on Wednesday. I'll go ahead and read it. So it's gonna be Article 33. This one's gonna be at the back of the pack. It's the second to last article. Will the town vote to approve and expend from the Community Preservation Fund the sum of $83,600 for the rail trail improvements, including but not limited to completing the rail trail signalization project, or take any other action relative thereto, requested by Community Preservation Act Committee, approval recommended by Finance Committee, Capital Planning Committee, and Community Preservation Committee. Funding source $82,600 from the CPA Fund Balance Reserve. Need discussion?
Steve, what was the vote on that? Was that,
Give me a second. So this was, this was from our December 16th meeting. Charlie presented, and he came with the full application. So we were able to vote on it that night. The intent here is for Vernon and Howard. The language on this is to say to complete the project, to essentially to close it out. So this is intended to be their final disbursement. So motion to accept was Joe, Tom was second, and it was unanimous. All those in attendance was Charlie, Steve, Tom, John, Peter, and Joe.
thank you. One more question.
Mhm.
Was this an overrun of initial funds, correct?
Yeah, so it's my understanding from the presentation Charlie did. When this was originally approved, it was back in that June 22, 2020 meeting, which means that it was the budgeted amounts for the original project to complete were submitted to us in October and I think finalized in, probably December, January, February, that time, right before COVID hit. The money didn't come out to be able to start that project until July. And at that time, and Derek, you probably talked to this better than anyone, steel prices skyrocketed. That they were only to be able to complete 3 of the 5 intended intersections, my understanding. And so they attacked the busiest roads first. So Liberty Street, Plain Street, and Union. That leaves Howard and Vernon without signalization. So this would, what is that? 60% of the project is complete. This is the remaining 40%. And based on my understanding of how costs have gone up, that's kind of impressive that they were able to get to 60% and not somewhere around 50. Derek, I don't know if you have any insight from your
No, it's
knowledge.
definitely, it's about accurate, and actually just in raw materials, you've seen huge jumps. Stuff that was 40 cents or cheaper per pound for cold rolled steel and so forth, is, close to $1. It's gone up 100+%. Specialty things, commodities, the heavy end of these things is, even just the copper wiring for these, anything
400%, didn't it?
Yeah. So you're seeing monstrous jumps in every component for these projects. Anything that requires steel work, metal work, electrical, any electronics, obviously. They've gone through the roof. It was definitely expected. We knew it was coming back when they actually got started on it. I believe that at one of our previous meetings, even previous to Charlie bringing the application to us, we had, discussed it at pretty good length, how much it was going to cost, gave them, our blessing or whatnot to just get done what they could and revisit it when needed. So it's pretty crazy, but necessary.
Steve, should I bring up about the possibility of Vernon or leave it alone?
Well, I think right now what we're voting on is the language of the article. We already voted on
Yeah.
the intent. I think we all agreed at the time, and especially the original project, that all of the crossings should be signalized. I know it's a slow street there, but there is blind if you're coming down Vernon from Union toward Liberty. After you cross Howard, you can't see that left side as you come down. Same thing if you're coming toward Howard, you can't see the left side because of the angle.
Even
But I don't-
coming down Howard Street to take a right or a left onto that, having something flashing, not everybody drives the right speeds. Having something flashing, having something alerting you ahead of time.
Right. And I know actually friends of mine, their family just sold a house in Vernon Street. It was 2 doors down from that crossing. And the police use it as a cut through to get to the center and cross town. And it'll be helpful for them to see too, as they, as they're deployed.
My concern was tonight to let the taxpayers know that we're really thinking things through and spending their money wisely and not recklessly. So I don't have a problem with the wording, and once everyone has their comments heard, I'll make a motion.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm with you, Joe, on that, but I also concur with Derek 100%. Prices on everything have gone out of control, and it just seems like a lot of money for that area, but that area is just as important as any other area. So, and we did make a commitment to it in the beginning anyway. I get it. I'm with Joe as far as I want to make sure the taxpayers know that we're not just checking things off and not even thinking about it.
Absolutely. Great. Any other discussion on this article? Do I hear a motion to accept as read?
I make a motion, accept as read.
Second,
No. Tom, all right. Derek,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Tom,
yes.
Yes.
John? And myself as an aye, it's unanimous. Great. On to the next agenda item. The only one thing I have here is the for invoice discussion. Going to revisit the GAR Hall. We talked about it at our last meeting. We got a request from the GAR Hall to reimburse them the full amount of the approved distribution. I think it's 12,000. Let me pull that up real quick here. Come on.
Completed?
GAR. It is. And so we asked for more documentation. This is one of their two projects, I believe. Let me pull that up.
Did anybody go last week? Check it out?
We had the historic commission at a table there on Sunday.
Oh, you did?
It looks really nice.
Did they complete both projects, Tom, or just the plaster?
The lighting's up too. If I could figure out how to do it, I'd show you pictures.
Yeah.
Jim Paul managed to find some chandelier that were similar to the ones from the old photographs. I think they're from like 1910, and you got 6 of them for like $400. So it actually looks very period appropriate.
Excellent.
Cool. Did you say 6 chandeliers?
Yeah.
Cool. Just trying to find this.
That'd be great, Tom, if you could figure.
I can email them. I guess that's allowed,
out how to
right?
Put the pictures up.
Yeah, you can email them. Email us. I can pull them up. We
So,
can preserve it for
That way everybody gets to see it in case they can't make it to the hall.
yeah,
Be nice.
do that after this. So I'm gonna have to go back for the original request, but these are the explanations of breakdowns. And the GAR paid direct for these. So this is for the second floor electrical work. Electric was 6,380. And then, this is the labor, materials, and lighting fixtures and wiring. 6,380. This is the permit. So that was another 60. The Hearts of Memorial Post. So let me forward. I'm gonna move this other one. Forward this to you, Tom. So I think this is separate. I have another one, I think, with other documentation. Okay. That can work. Hey, there it is. All right. Send. Let's get out of this. Another GAR hall. Fix this. There we go.
So I just emailed a couple of pictures. They weren't from Sunday, but they were when we went over to check out the finished product.
Mhm. I don't know where the original is. Oh, here's the backup. There we go. So this is the first request that they asked for. So Tom, you'll pay that first one that I sent you.
Yep, I got
This
it.
is the other one, I think you have this one. This is the 12/9/20. We asked for additional information. This, and this actually shows this was for the plastering that they're asking for, and they actually went over budget. They're covering the difference, so they paid 15.5, and they're requesting 12/9/20. So as long as we're okay with that, we typically don't vote on these things, but did want to run it by everyone, see if anyone has any objections.
So the total cost is what? 19 something?
12,920 for the plastering. That was for the
Yeah.
ceiling repair.
And the other one was 6,000 electrical?
The other one was 6,380. With another $60 for the electrical permit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did we already get the electrical one?
No, we did not. That's one I just forwarded to you.
Okay.
I got that
I see. Yeah, sorry.
a couple weeks ago, and I told Suai that we were holding until we talked this through. And I can pull up the how much money we actually approved for these projects here in a second. Biz. Distribution. No, that's the other project.
Did any of you get my email I just sent with the pictures? I just attached it as a reply to the email from the meeting tonight.
Yep, I got it.
Here it is, CPA balance reserve.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up for
It's a lot nicer than it used to look, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, the ceilings, we approved 29,920. We had already spent 17,000. So this is the final payment for the ceilings at the GIR hall. For electrical, we had approved 38,500. We had not dispersed any money at that point. So this will.
You mean 6,380?
No, so, oh, yep, that was the 88 mark. 6,380. They're requesting 6,380. So we can remit 6,380.
Very good.
No objection. We don't need a motion on this. And let's pull up the pictures. You send that to just the group here. For the folks on YouTube, we do get a couple of views per month. Oh, those look really nice.
Wow, 3 of them?
I'm sorry, there are 5 or 6 in all. There's like one
Looks
dead
like-
center. There might be 5.
I've
Five,
never
yeah.
seen up there. That looks really
So,
nice.
And now
Looks a
there
lot
are,
better than hanging fluorescents.
yeah, there's
Is that
pretty
what it
bad.
was before, right? It was just the old
There's some nice grates over those openings too now. For what I understand, they're quite heavy when they put them up.
Jim
Out
Paul
of the
knows it all.
HVAC. That's fantastic.
Very nice. Nice job.
Just gotta
The old
polish the
grand thing
floors
back
and we
then.
can start the boardwalk tournament. I mean, I'm sorry, shuffleboard tournament.
Yeah,
Ready?
We have to do our next CPA meeting from there, I guess.
Why
I
not?
think that would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Great.
not bad. Not bad
Great
idea.
idea. John.
It's the least they could do. It's supposed to be available for the community because they're using community funds.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks great.
Fantastic idea. Way to put that one up there, John. I like it. Get some use out of it.
Yeah.
Eric, you got
Uh,
any old uniforms?
You should have
Any
seen the
old
stuff that we dug up from the attic. They had all the Odd Fellows outfits, like the fezzes and everything. Kind of funny looking.
We can go all out and get dressed up.
Absolutely.
You can dress up, Joe. We'll watch you.
All right.
Sounds
So the
good.
next,
You got
Next
the
item
beard
is-
to match, so you're good.
I'll give him a robe and a staff.
I want to keep moving because John, you have a hard stop in a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, I have to jump to another Zoom, but yeah, we can
Yeah.
go.
Remote meeting extension. I wanted to mention this. This is something that came from Doug to our CPA email. The state legislature. Oh, come on. State legislature approved an extension of remote meeting. Just so that we're all aware. There it is. On February 15th, 2022, Baker signed a law extending certain COVID-19 related measures into law. Includes extension until July 15th, 2022 of the remote meeting provisions that the governor March 12th, 2020 executive order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. New law has two major parts. So if anyone's interested, I can go ahead and forward this link out. Just let me know. But we do have the ability to meet via Zoom through July 15th. Although I hope by then we're meeting in person again.
Be nice to make the first meeting at the GAR hall. First
Yeah.
meeting back in person.
Yeah, maybe not in July. I don't know how the AC is in that place.
Yeah, there's no AC at all.
You probably
Really
wanna be
cold in the
upstairs
winter and
in
really hot in the summer.
upstairs in the GAR in July. I don't know. All right. Steve mentioned. Okay. And then here. So Joe, I'll let you actually take this one. I've been working with Open Space to talk about a potential combined meeting to really focus on McCarthy Farm. So I'll let you add anything there.
Yes, thank you. We had a meeting down at the farm to check it out, check out the buildings that supposedly has to be torn down. I really don't know much on that. Steve talked to Doug on that, and according to what Doug had told Steve, that they have to come down because of the grant money that we're receiving from the state. And I'm still questioning why would the state want us to tear down possibly a building that we can use. So that's where we're kind of at with that. It was a great walkthrough. Myself, Pete, Steve and the kids, Don Cott, we kind of separated so we couldn't discuss anything, break any laws. So
Right.
it was a great day. A lot of deer up there.
A little rainy though.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. I was very impressed with the property. It was the first time I've seen it. I didn't get to walk all of it, but I got up to where the barn is. Some of the storage barns are on the outskirt of the property where the well is, the pond. It was very impressive. I think the town's going to be really pleased with this property once we get things going. So we want to have an open space meeting with open space to discuss the use of the land and what their thoughts are and what our thoughts are. So we put them on for the next meeting to discuss all that stuff with them. Did I miss anything, Steve?
No, just touch on what you said. So at Finance Committee last night, Doug kind of expounded on where we were with the grant money. It was 400,000 that we're seeking from the state in the grant to refund part of the town's expense from the, I think it was free cash for the general fund. We wouldn't refund our portion there because that's what we use it for, is for purchases like this. So we'll go back, I think, into our general fund or free cash or wherever, not finance committee, I'm not sure. But he said there was a lot of requirements from the state that we have to tick boxes. One being has to have a parking lot, that has to be an access path, and the structures need to come down. That's where we left it. So I think in our meeting, we kind of drill into what are those requirements. And a couple other things that, what is the maintenance plan? That certain it has to be put into conservation restriction, that kind of thing. So I think we want to dig into what the requirements are. So if we hear no objection, I'll go ahead and pursue it with Don Khan to.
One more thing, Steve,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with basically all the buildings come down except for the barn. That's my concern. And my was to take down 2 additions that put on the barn and leave the barn there because it's solid. I would still want an inspection done to reinsure that it's solid.
Mhm.
Like I said, that he could use that type of storage or machinery up there to help maintain the place. So if we have to take it down to get the money, we have to take it down, but I hate to see it.
Right. I think it's important for us to understand, what it is that needs to happen and the timeline. I know there's a short timeline to have a lot of this stuff done. Essentially, it needs to be done by June 1st is what I think it needs to be done by the end of our fiscal year. So by end of June, but the target is June 1st so that all the paperwork is in and filed prior to the end of the fiscal year, which is the end of June. Any objection with having a combined meeting with open space for our April meeting? I don't expect much other business on that agenda.
Nope.
Hearing none. Any other business not reasonably anticipated? I got one thing. It was just disbursement from the Registry of Deeds. Rockland got a pretty big disbursement. It was in the $200,000 range for the first 2 quarters of the fiscal year. This. Gonna have to tilt your head at this, but here's Rockland. So 2017 was 63,650. 18 was 58,360. 19 was 63,245. 2020 was 169,680. And then 2021, 204,075. So it's gone up significantly. I think homes in Rockland, there's been a lot of sales in the town of Rockland. You can see that the overall monies didn't go up for all those communities. If you look at that bottom row, it only went up. It went up less than $1 million, but we did see a significant jump up. So it's good news. Good news for the town. Anyone else unanticipated business?
No.
Hearing none. I'll start my share. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
No, I'm gonna give it a Derek since it's his first meeting in a while.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, roll call. Derek, motion to adjourn. You did it, so in favor? Joe,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Pete,
Yes.
and myself, Steve is an aye. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
job.
Guys.